The Brothers of Liberty, here to remind you what true freedom is. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Liberty with the older brother Kelton here. Today we're going to be talking about surety bonds and why they are important. A lot of people don't know this, but this is something that everybody needs to know. Now, surety bonds is a public official bond public official bonds are surety bonds that guarantee a public official will perform the duties of office faithfully and honestly. And in the most cases, a surety bond is required in order to hold office. Now, that's not true in all cases. In fact, some officials may even lie and say they're not bonded, but you can always check through the city, county, and local resources offices to see if they're bonded or not and what company they're bonded with. There's actually a website which will be linked in the description called bondsforthewin.com. And this is to hold our public officials accountable because they are going literally doing what they want, despite the fact that they're supposed to represent the people, like school boards, for instance, where the parents say we don't want this to be taught. And they're like, well, we don't care what you want. We're going to do what we want, even though you elected us. And apparently they had forgot what the term representative means. A surety bond. Now, people ask, what is a surety bond? A surety bond claim, when you take a claim out on a person, is a claim that is a complaint that says a person has not fulfilled their obligations and duties or have not followed the law. A lot of those mandates do not follow the law. Claims are understood to be intentional violations made by the person in question. If someone makes a claim against a person, there's a few things that happens. One, the surety company will investigate and determine it's invalid. However, the person may still be liable for any cost of surety incurred during the investigation. Two, if they determine it is valid, they will remind the person of their obligation under the bond. They expect a response to the claim by the person, a resolution to the claim, usually compensation to the claimant for any financial loss or damages incurred, and a valid defense to the claim. If the claim is resolved, the claim process ends. If the person in question does not respond to the claim, it's not resolved, or provide a valid defense to a claim, the company will make a decision based upon the information and documentation by the claimant. In some cases, the company could pay the claim for the person, but the person is required to reimburse the company and pay any legal costs associated with it. Now, how do you file a surety bond? Find out who bonded the offender. Look for that information in your contract, or on your state's licensing broad board website. Sorry about that. Make contact with the bonding company, specifically their claims department. File the surety bond claim as the surety company requires. They might require you to submit a letter and or supporting documentation. Once your claim is received, maintain contact with the surety claim. The claim surety company will begin an investigation. Claim will be determined to be invalid and no further action will be taken, or the claim will be determined to be valid. If it's valid, the surety company will give the principal person who is bonded a chance to satisfy the claim. If the person fails to satisfy, the company will satisfy and the person will have to repay the company. If valid, bonded individual will be held responsible. And that's how you do a claim. Like I said, that's just the gist of it. Like I said, I'm gonna have a link there for bondsforthewin.com. And we need to hold these people responsible. And if they're not being scared by elections, as everybody says, money talks. So let's hit them in their pocketbooks then, shall we? Um, and like I said, it's not just for school board officials, but it's being used for the school board officials. It's for most public officials. So let's see who's bonded. Let's see. Let's start taking out, especially the local, and everybody say, well, how about this? This going above the state and federal Congress. It all starts at the local. If we could change the local setting, we can go, and it starts off a tidal wave. A small pebble or a small snowball can cause an avalanche. Let's be that small pebble or snowball, because once it starts spreading, it's going to be hard to stop. So, and that's just my opinions on it. And this is just, like I said, another way to hold the people in question and responsible for what they have claimed and promised to do. They're supposed to represent the people, so let's hold them to that, what they need to do, shall we? And remind them of their jobs. And once again, that's my opinion on it. If you have a difference of opinion, feel free to comment in the section. Like I always say, like, share, and comment. And if you have any discussions you want us to discuss, Brothers of Liberty 76 at gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And once again, this is the Older Brother Liberty reminding you what true freedom is and ought to be.